Okay, the technology that I have on display today, Christian-based, holography, of course, micro and nano imaging. I think you're going to be very interested in seeing some of these things. I have Christian artwork and scripture that is so small that it can't be seen by the human eye. You have to have these laboratory microscopes to see it. And people say, well, you know, that's all well and good, but why? Why would somebody do that? Well, I don't know why the Lord works the way that the Lord works. The Lord has something in plan, and that's what he does. But I can tell you this much. When it comes to the microscopic scripture, it was invented by a man named John Benjamin Dancer. And the microscopic photography that he invented eventually led to microfilm. And the microfilm then led to micro and photolithography. And micro and photolithography eventually led to the printed circuit boards that we have in the world today. So all of this stuff that takes place, and my voice is coming to you through a printed circuit board, that's printed circuit board. Everything's printed circuit boards around us, all started with the microphotography of John Benjamin Dancer. That's what started it. So have a little bit of pride in the fact that everything that we see in our world today actually traces back to him. And you'll see, I think I have the 10 Commandments over there, and also the world's smallest art of the Nativity. And there's a couple cards that are next to the microscope for the art of the Nativity you can take home with you, saying that you viewed the world's smallest art of the Nativity. And then we have stereoscopy. Stereoscopy is stereoscopes, the old antique stereoscopes. And what I brought with me today is a giant's grave of a primitive man, prehistoric man's giant's grave. And this was shot in the 1800s, and when you look through the stereoscope, you'll be able to see the length, because there's two men standing next to the grave. And of course, we all know in Genesis 6, there were giants in the earth in those days. So that's why I brought that. And lenticulars. Lenticulars are a 3D picture, and that's one of the things we'll be unveiling in just a little bit. Oh, there it is. This is the Delk dinosaur human fossil. You're all familiar with that here, right? Well, David Lines, who is the photographer and videographer and probably a million other things here at the museum, did the photography and sent those photographs to me. And I took those photographs and worked with them so that I could stitch them together into a three-dimensional image. And then we sent that off to an outside house to have that done. And we have one of those here with us today. And we're going to show that to you. And it'll stay here in Glen Rose. But the nice thing about that is, you know, here's the print up here. Since this is 3D, I mean, when you see this print, you see it all over the internet. But when you see it on the internet as a print and a photograph, it's just flat. And the whole thing behind this fossil is the depth that it has from the footprints. But you can't really tell that from a flat picture. But when you have a three-dimensional hologram or a three-dimensional lenticular, you'll be able to see the depth, and that will be able to travel anywhere in the world while the fossil remains safely here. And viewing a lenticular, what happens is with a lenticular, you really take right eye views and left eye views. And then those views are sent to your eyes. And when David Lines did the photography, he did it along, I don't know if he used a rail or whether he used what we call cha-cha. Cha-cha technique is when you hold the camera in your hand, take a picture, step over and take another picture. They call that cha-cha, like the dance. And that shows how the right and left eye view travels to our eyes. And that's what will be happening when you view the lenticular print. And you can see there is what's called parallax. Parallax is when you can look around something. Now there's a young man sitting over there next to a lady here, and I can't see him because he's through the plastic. But if I come around this way, I can see him. If I come around this way, he's hidden by, that's called parallax, where you can actually look around things. And there is a bit of parallax, which I show here in the Delk print. So as you move left and right, you'll be able to see a little bit to the left and right. You can't go as far as looking at the print this way and looking at the print this way and seeing that much.